Hey y'all, hey, what's up, tap the screen, share the live, all that good stuff. First of all, hey Essence, hey Veve, what's going on? How y'all doing? Happy Tuesday. What's happening? Let's see. Am I on over here? I am. And so I know my lighting is horrible today, but honestly, trying to make sure I was getting on here around lunchtime, I did not have time to get everything like flipped around and set up. Um, Whenever I stream upstairs, I don't like leaving everything set up after I stream. So I put it back in its place because I just can't handle like looking at all this stuff out. It like stresses me out. So anyway, my lighting is not the best because I don't have any of my big light set up. So a lot of shadows casted everywhere and all that good stuff. But we just got to do what we can do. And then technically, you're not supposed to have light coming from behind you. And I'm sure you guys can see all of this light washing in over here from my windows. YouTube, they can see the windows. So anyway, side note, I'm gonna apologize in advance for my poor lighting today. I didn't have time to get it set up and then still stay on time for our calls. Okay. That's where we're at right now. That's where we're at right now. Okay. Anywho, y'all tap the screen and share the live. And let's see. Let's go ahead. Oh shoot, y'all can't hear me. I'm sorry. Can y'all hear me now? If you hear me, give me the number one. Hey Josephine, what's happening, child? If you can hear me, give me the number one. You been working on your 30 to 40 day lunch workbook? Good. Good, good, good. Yes, we can hear. Okay, good. Okay, honey. So you may just need to exit and come back in because everybody else says they can hear. It's always funny to me when people are like they can't hear, and I'm like, oh, you probably need to exit and come back in. And then I think about it, they can't hear me. So I hope they just figure it out on their own. Oh snap! But like I think about it after, I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm like, they can't hear me, so they didn't get those instructions. Okay. So what we have been covering since the top of the year, well, I guess technically we started in 2026, actually, going through content that actually makes you money. Okay. And that helps with your sales out here in these streets. So we have covered so far. Let's go over all the things that we've covered because it's been quite a bit. And we can get into the Q and the A and the A and the Q and the Q and the A and the Q and the A. So I've given you guys like a basic infrastructure for making money online. Then we talked about a strategy to help you grow your page, increase your watch time, and get more views. Then we talked about long content like hacks and concepts. Then we went through like your script structure and we started getting into your hooks and your analytics. Then we went through your steps whenever it comes to like your probability, possibility messaging. Then we went through like I gave you guys a system on how to find viral hooks so you can start creating formulas and framework so that way you don't have to try and reinvent the wheel. Then we talked about hook stacking. We went through the components of a good script. Then we went through the steps for like how you can start the process of choosing your niche and your sub niches. And last night I started giving you guys information on activation content, which is what leads to sales, and it leads to consistent sales day in and day out. Hey, Queen Nisha 11, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that. Hey, Vic, what's happening? Hey, Mrs. Rayford. So, anyway, that is what we have covered so far. We went through all of this stuff in January and I guess the first few days of February. So now we are going to do a Q&A day, right? Because I know people have questions. So today you can ask me anything about your sales. You can ask me anything about your marketing. You can ask me anything about your structure, your framework, challenges that you may or may not be having when it's coming to making money, growing your followers, all of that good stuff. Let's see. Y'all need a link. So if y'all on YouTube or Facebook and you want to ask questions, you can pop in over here. And then y'all know on TikTok, all y'all have to do is just request up. And then you can ask your questions that way. Okay, King Tech Services, thank you for my 2026s. How many of you guys have already put up at least one post this morning somewhere? You said last night you asked about posting and you stated an awareness post. What is that? Awareness post is looking at something that's happening in the media cycle. Hey, Code Digger. And it needs to, you choose things that relate or that you can make them relate to your core like niche or the type of content that you speak about. And so it's literally, hey, Glory Slocks, is literally low hanging fruit. So, do reports count? Do reports count for what? Ask me another way. I don't ask me another way. I don't quite understand what you mean when you say do reports count. But that's what your awareness content is because it's trending. There's normally like millions of people and like hundreds of millions of people that are looking for information about that particular subject or about that particular topic. And because there's so many people looking for information about it, it is easy for them to find your page. And so if you can make it make sense with what you talk about, it's a really easy way for you to be able to pick up followers. And it's the easiest way to grow a page, but for some reason y'all still don't want to do it. But it's literally like one of the fastest ways to grow a page. Side note, I forgot to do our intro. Everybody give me hey, got hey, because that's who gave me the gifts of business, beautification, and hospitality. I've been able to use them to make a crap load of money for myself. More importantly, I'm very proud of the fact I've been able to help over 900 people create six-figure incomes. 191 of my clients have made $1 million in less than a year. Okay. I have 13 clients that have had $1 million months. So I'm really, really good at what I do. Blinkety blink, blink, blink. And then y'all can give me the ready, baby. I just got in here and just start talking. Can y'all tell I'm pressed about the clock today? I'm pressed about time today. Okay. But yeah, awareness content, and this is the thing. If I'm gonna be honest, a lot of clients that come to me, they struggle with identifying awareness content. I see something and I'm like, oh, everybody's gonna be talking about this. I see it and I know, like right off the rip, I'm like, it's generalized, it's inflammatory. I'm like, this offended a group of people, or there are going to be people who like staunchly, agree. I will know off rip. It's an interesting concept. This is something new that's being brought to the general public. They haven't really heard it framed or positioned like this. And a lot of y'all are struggling with being able to identify awareness content that your audience would be into because you don't know your audience. And that's a hard reality that a lot of y'all don't want to face. I am like, there's a lady and she called me for a consultation, and I know she got upset with me, but I really don't care because I was telling her the truth. She's an author and her book has been flopping, and her book's going to keep flopping because she's trying to sell a book to a group of people that she does not understand. And what's more frustrating is not that she doesn't understand the group of people, she doesn't seem interested in getting to know them or understand the group of people. And I've told her several things like, no, your target audience is this, and this. This is what it is about these people. This is what they enjoy. This is their why. These are their hobbies. This is what's, such and such and such and such. And she's like, well, I don't have time to, watch TV. I don't have time to see this information. I don't know who any of these people are, blah, 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 blah. It's always an excuse. And I'm like, this is why you're not making money, because you don't know your audience. And on top of you not knowing your audience, you don't care to get to know your audience. So a lot of times people struggle with the awareness content, and that's why your pages are not picking up. That's why they're not growing. Hey, Glorious Locks, Queen Nisha 11, thank you for my 2026s. So realistically, I would say this: if you're a person and you know that you're struggling with that, like you don't know who your target audience is, you don't know what type of content they want to consume, you don't know how to identify content that those people would find relevant and that they would resonate with so they could come over to your page and follow you, one or two things. You're going to have to either learn that skill, and typically you learn that skill from coming into a program like Instacorn Academy, or we have like a sales boot camp that starts tonight, and I'll be working with people probably for the next like 2.5 months. It's supposed to be 8 weeks, but I already know it's going to go longer than that. Okay. But it's a skill you have to be able to develop to say, oh, this is the type of content that my audience wants to have follow-up or additional framework thoughts, or that they would find like use an example handy with this type of content. Or you're going to have to pay somebody to do it for you. It's not that it's inauthentic. It's like literally it's a mismatch. There are people who are out here, when I'm saying people, y'all are the people. Majority of y'all in here, you're trying to offer something, sell something, create a page, a community, or a world around something that you ideally don't know the consumer of this product. Is your offer a good offer? Yes. Do you know who you're offering it to? No, you don't. You don't know. And when I say I know everything about my customers, I know everything about my clients. I know everything about y'all, even down to what type of clothes you'll wear. I know. Hey Josephine, what's going on?
Nothing. I'm sorry. I was trying to remove myself from the screen.
Hold, I got you. Boop, boop, boop. Bam. Out of there, girl. Hey King Tech Services, what's your question?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold.
No problem.
The question I wanted to ask is, when you were just saying we have a good offer, but we don't know our audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with the new algorithms and all that good stuff, quick question: are polls still a good way to know my audience?
The polls is a good way to know your audience if you're putting up content or asking questions that audience is going to find intriguing, that they want to engage with. So this is the thing. It does not matter what tool you use on social media. It does not matter what you do to your edits. It doesn't matter how clean things are if you don't understand the people that your product is designed for. If you don't know why someone is looking for your offer, if you don't know what they're struggling with or what their desires are, if you don't know the language that those people are using so you can create content around there, if you don't know what colors they respond to, what type of content they respond to, what's going to be the conversation, you're going to always struggle out here in these social media streets. And again, like I tell people all the time, how important targeting is to be able to build a community, to be able to make a sale, to be able to create content, to be able to choose your options. It is literally 80% of the game. Like this is the thing. You can be good at targeting. You don't have to be good at like editing content if you're good at targeting, because you understand your people. You understand what I'm saying? If you are good at targeting, you don't necessarily, have to have the newest, the greatest, the fastest software or whatever it is. You don't have to have that because you're good at targeting. And so a lot of y'all, you can't target worth a flip because you don't know your customers. You don't know your customers because you don't want to take the time to do the research, or you don't want to spend the money to pay the person, like people like me that just come in and we say, here's your audience, right? So like, for example, and I'm not talking about you, Tanya, I know you invest in your business, so I'm not talking about you, but I'm just in general. So for instance, when somebody works with me and they pay for a social media audit, the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to analyze your page, I'm going to analyze your followers, I'm going to analyze your offer, then I'm trying to see where do these things match up at, or where do they mismatch. Then I'm going through and I'm saying, you need to fix this, and this is how we fix XYZ element of P. And if you start posting this and using these power words and using these activations, you're going to see good results. And then people come back to me and they're like, oh my God, I did what you told me. And now I'm getting views. Now I'm getting followers. Now I'm getting leads. This really works. Yes, it does. Right. But you can't just stop with that one thing. You have to consistently be learning about your audience because they're consistently changing. So you have to know what is important to them. So with a poll, like, is a poll a good internal metric? Yes. But if we're polling and we're trying to pick up new people that we have our ideal audience, and I ask you a question, or I framed and phrase that question in a way that the ideal audience is going to ignore it and keep scrolling, no, it's not going to help you, because the people that need to take the poll, they never even saw it.
Okay, thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome. Everything boils down to, do you know your people? Like, yes or no. That's what everything boils down to. Everything. Do you know your people? And if you don't know your people, I would highly encourage you to take the time to start to study them. You really got to stock and chicken hawk people. And a lot of people don't want to put in that type of time, but that's how we make money. I my products sell because I only create things that I know my audience needs. I'm not out here trying to force something down someone's throat. Hey, Essence, what's going on?
Beautiful. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on time today. Thank you for loving us enough to show up for us. I know you're doing a lot right now. And now I wanted to tell everybody in this live right now to share and just repost. If you push repost, it keeps people from getting mad with you. And then I wanted to know, AI is changing so fast. And what happened was I built my brand as being Get Fresh Stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And then when TikTok switched, they took my name. They took Get Fresh Stuff from me, right? Mm-hmm. And well, now everybody's calling me Essence, and so it makes me more accountable, and it makes me feel. They took my mask, Ashley Ann. You probably came on as Ashley Ann or Queen Millionaire. I came on as Get Fresh Stuff, and all I was doing was just basically marketing everybody else's brand. Is what happened. Mm-hmm. And I think I got caught behind a mask of basically being a promoter for everybody else. And so now when they took my name, Get Fresh Stuff from me, now I have to market Essence. And who Essence is a digital marketing guru, right? That's getting into the guru part, okay? But what she is she's actually helping executives or CEOs basically do AI. Well, AI is changing so fast. So I need to figure out how to bite off small portions, because now what's happened is that I know what I'm doing, and I know how to coach, and I know how to lead, and I have all eyes on me, right? And now I'm sitting here like a deer in headlights without my name. So should I just get my name back and keep hiding and keep promoting, because I really love doing that? But I'm not making any money. And that's what I heard you say last night. You didn't want us to sit around and promote everything and have a million good, beautiful videos, beautiful music, beautiful everything. Everything's perfect. But I'm not making no money.
No, if we're not making money, everything ain't perfect now, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. To me, I only made like about $200 right now in total. But I've only been going live for 1 month. So this is my first time. I mean, I just started going live, in essence, what I'm saying. But now all eyes are on me, and everybody wants to be a part of what I'm doing. But I need to know, with AI going so fast, like, how do I actually scale it a little bit so I can just give people small bite chews instead of taking them too fast? Because I don't want to take them all the way back
It's
to the
not
drawing
you.
board.
There's a simple solution to what you're asking, and one I would encourage you, either you jump into Instacoin or you can sign up for. You would need a power session, because that's when I go through and
Yes.
I tell clients, like, here's your product idea. This is your downsell, your upsell. This is how this should be, formatted, so that way you have framework. That's going to be number one, because it's not a difficult solution. Actually, the fact that AI changes a lot is an advantage for you. That's number one. The second thing, when we talk about like the name, realistically on this platform, it is not like you already had a huge community here or across on the social sides to where that's going to be detrimental to what you have going on. You know what I mean? If you want to give yourself a different name, then, by all means, go forth and do that. If you want to create a new page, go ahead and do that. It'd be one thing if you had like, 250,000 followers or something like that, and then they came in and took your name. Well, no, not really, because those people are still gonna know you too. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the name thing isn't really that big of a deal unless they took it and someone else has it and they're able to operate in your likeness. That's when that becomes, right, a problem or issue. Okay. So that's not really that big of a thing. As far as, I don't know what's set up on your infrastructure, so I can't really tell you why you're converting and why you're not converting. So I don't know what your foundations look like. I don't know what your funnel looks like. I don't know what's on the back end. I don't know what your retargeting practices are. I don't know if you have any like off-app events set up for people to, come and congregate with you and get to know you. Like,
I'm going to the Ashley Ann in Atlanta for Valentine's Day whenever she announces it.
I might not do it, depending on how I feel. I'm not,
okay.
and let me be very, very clear too with this event. If I put this event on in Atlanta, it's high ticket. It's $5,000 a person, and I only want 10 people there. Because we going in. Let me be clear about that too.
Well, baby, I got Afterpay.
I'm not saying for you. I'm just saying for anybody. If I decide to do this event in Atlanta, it's $5,000 a ticket, and it's only 10 people, because we're going in on your businesses. Okay, like this is real deal, drilling down. This is who it is. This is who it's not. This is your plan. This is your model. This is who you're talking to. Here's your Q1, Q2 instructions, and this is what you need to have done. And the reason I say I may not want to do it, we'll see what happens with these couple of venues in the next few days, because not only the decor and the setup, anybody that's getting tickets, they would need to buy their tickets probably within 3 days of me announcing, because I have to have time to go in and analyze their businesses before I get there. And so I can provide everybody with a brief.
Can we have a snow discount? Because it's been snowing.
No. Essence, my rate is $14,000 an hour with these large companies. I know. But I know you're kidding. But people coming in, they don't know. They don't know how I get down, and they don't know that I'm very well sought after. And sometimes, because I sit here on social media and I offer, advice and tips and information, and I teach and I train for free, which makes me seem very accessible. People come in and they have no idea that I am who I am. You understand what I'm saying? They don't know. So you're joking, but other people are hearing the jokes and they don't know. So one of the things this year I'm very clear in, I will make sure to let people know, no, I am who I am. And honestly, come in, take the notes and execute. And let me be clear, I understand everyone can't afford, right, my services. So that's one of the reasons I get on and I teach for free. That's one of the reasons I do that. But also, don't disrespect me by coming in and not executing on the information. That, to me, that's disrespectful. You might as well be cussing me out if I'm getting on here and I'm teaching and I'm going through stuff, and then TikTok shows me on the back end who came to my live streams. So yes, I will randomly sometimes go and see, like, is this person even applying any of this information? I've seen this person here for 3 weeks, and I go to their page and I ain't seeing no posts, I ain't seeing no updates. I'm not seeing any call to actions, no good descriptions. I can tell they're not working on their hooks. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of things. I'm like, okay, so they're coming, but they're not implementing anything. And then that makes me think, well, I'm wasting my time getting on here and teaching. F that, I just teach the people that are paying.
Ashley, what happened was we was trying to get in the class last night, and it said we was redirected to your website, and we didn't see the website, and it was me and my higher self. So could you tell us the website that we supposed to go to?
What class are you
'Cause when I
trying to?
went to
What class
TikTok,
are you
they
trying
would
to
not-
get in?
I was trying to get to that's what I need to know. I need to know if you think I need to start with my problem, start with the sales training, or start with the other one, because I need both of them, but I can't really do both of them unless I can do both of them on Klarna.
Do sales training, because in sales training we teach content, because there's no way for you to sell through your DMs and your posts without understanding content. But it probably redirected, because remember, my timers are like the evergreen timers. They go boom, they go down,
No,
they
it
go
was
out.
like when we go, like, with all due respect, when I went to your thing last night, because I was really, really, really moved last night. And then what happened when I went, and it said everything I pushed on that thing for TikTok, it said redirect to the website, and it would not let us see anything to get to the website. I'm just letting you know. I don't know if there's a glitch or a block or something like that.
It
after
could be
certain time
it
of
could
night,
be a
'cause,
block with TikTok. I don't know. If it was
Yeah,
after,
that's what
but
I'm
if it
trying
was
to-
after 11:59, it's gonna redirect. But I don't know. Let's see. Let me go to my TikTok and let me push it and see what
what's
happens.
your website? That way I can put it, write it down.
It's kingashlyn.biz/courses 2. That's where we
Okay.
host everything at. But you also can do a DM, or you can email customer support, and they will always give you a link too. I don't know. When I clicked it, it just went. So maybe it was a glitch last night.
Yes, because I was like, I said, now this is crazy, because I'm trying to find out, because you said everything was getting ready to change at 12:59. Of course, it was about 2:00. We were still on there, but I was trying to make sure that I looked at everything. So thank you. So you said I can go to King Ashley.
kingashlyn.biz/courses 2, or if you click the link in the bio, somebody else try and click it and see if it lets you go. When I just clicked it, it went. But I mean, I'm clicking from my phone, so maybe my cookies remember the page. But when I clicked it, it went.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
if you're
Well, that's
trying
okay,
to
'cause I have it now.
get into the sales camp, I would encourage
Mhm.
you to email customer support, or if you send a DM right now. Queen Niche 11 said it worked for her. Okay.
Okay, good.
Daphne said it worked for her, so I'm not sure. It could have just been a glitch. Grace said
Okay.
it's working, so I don't know. I don't know.
Awesome.
Glitches happen though. Tech stuff happens. So anyway,
Yes.
if you want to
It was
pop
2:00, so
if
yeah, I'm gonna call them.
you need
I'll
to
go to,
you
customer
need
support.
to go through the DMs. That's because if you go the other way, it's gonna block it. It's not gonna let you do it now.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Hit them in the DMs. That my team can get inside my DMs right now, girl. So and they'll
And
get
what
you.
is the Monetization Nation? Because I was trying to
Monetization
figure out.
Nation is a monthly membership, and it has resources in it. So every week there's a Kingdom Call. Monetization Nation also has a bunch of marketing plans. It has also plans to help you make money quickly, but those are not business models. And once you do it, you'll see it's a lot of work. There's no way you could sustain doing that every month. But like if you're like, oh, I need to make $4,000 or $5,000 like real fast, you'll see a lot of those plans inside of there. You will see a lot of stuff, foundational stuff for people that have not set their businesses up. So it walks you through step by step on how to put those things in order. It has your foundational training for building out a brand. And exactly like what that means, what that is. And it's going to have a lot of your, we do a monthly insight session inside of there too. And it's going to have a lot of your information, like your little short skills. Those are going to be inside of there as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because that's because my problem was I said, well, I might be a little too under technically privileged to be, the way when you was talking about in Atlanta, you was like, we coming, we working, and you gonna get it. And I was like, okay, now do I need to bring an assistant or, you know what I mean?
If we
I was
going
just
on, you
nervous. I
need
didn't
help
know.
with tech and setting everything up, Instacoin. I've always
Yes,
told
ma'am.
y'all this. I've never moved from this. Instacoin is the best program I have. That is the Instacoin is the program that probably is the best as far as like comprehensive, where you can get tech skills, you get sales skills, you get ad skills, you get education, you learn how to get sponsors, you learn how to get brand deals, you learn how to get UGC, right? You get help with your taxes, you learn how to put your books together, your proper documentation. And we have therapists coming there to be able to help small business owners. Instacoin is the most comprehensive package and it's the most economical. And that's what's going to be able to help you put everything together. If you need help creating a product, you get that inside of Instacoin as well. Monetization Nation is a resource and it's a membership. So you get the insight sessions, you get the weekly Kingdom calls, you have all of the information, classes, courses, workshops, workbooks, they're all inside of there, but you have to do that yourself versus Instacoin, where every week we're in there teaching you, correcting you, you showing us your work. We're able to give you the proper feedback to put you on the right path. That's why we have so many six-figure earners that come out of that program.
Yes, because now what I'm doing, I mean, I built myself out pretty good on TikTok. And now what I want to do, I would like to get help with the YouTube and the other things, you know what I'm saying? I got to be careful what I say on this platform now, but I want to basically make that linear or hexagonal or whatever I'm doing to go straight across the way, so that I'll be able to stream at one time with all of the platforms, instead of me working myself to the bone like I'm doing right now. Because it seems like I'm just overworking myself, and I know it's the easier way because I see how you're doing it, and I just want to model what you're doing.
StreamYard, I'll let you do that. And you don't have to have a lot of tech skills to operate StreamYard. You can just go in Canva and make an overlay and call it a day. And as long as you get the stream keys on all of the sites that you want to stream on, it'll do it all at one time.
Okay, so it's called StreamYard.
Yep.
Okay, StreamYard. Okay, StreamYard. And also you were saying that I needed a payment processor last night.
Yep.
For
Everybody needs a payment processor. Everybody.
Okay, a payment processor. And then it was one more thing you said people didn't want to pay for.
They don't want to pay.
$29.
They don't want to pay for their email autoresponders and for their carts, and you need them.
Okay, an email auto response, sir. So an email auto response. Okay, who would you suggest for that?
Right now, ConvertKit is probably the most affordable option. In between there or like Aweber. But if you go click the link in my bio, if you go to the free 99, it says tools I use, to run a mobile $1 million company, and you'll see all of them there.
Okay, all right. Okay, I just want to make sure because I want to listen. This time I want to listen. So it's email, the email response, and then also you said the.
That's right, Ariel. Ariel in the chat said even if you have a stand store, you still need a payment processor. That's right. Stand store is a cart. It's not a payment processor. And people confuse payment processors and carts all the time. Is Instacoin 12 weeks? Instacoin is 12 months, Irene, unless you get the 12-week option, which I don't recommend. But for some reason, people are hard-headed and they think that they're going to get all of this information in 12 weeks. Like, you have to think about, for most people, this is brand new information. The thought process, the concept, the education, the terminology, the tech skills, the editing, the sales skills, the learning psychology, so you can actually learn your proper, target audience and what makes them click. For most business owners, they don't have this. Also, when it comes to your bookkeeping and your taxes, so we can get you funded and we can make sure we're mitigating your taxes for you, right? Most small business owners don't know these things. So it's a lot of new information. So when we first started it, because people are like, I want to fast. And then people were literally freaking out. They were like, oh, it's too much information. I can't do it in 12 weeks. Well, no, we told you that. That's why we have it for 12 months. And so now people can take their time. Like, think about this. If you've never, ever built a funnel before and you go through a 6-hour training and you can pause and click and put it together, you think you're going to be excellent at design your first time? You think you're going to be excellent with the sales copy your first time? You think you're going to be excellent with your exit video that's supposed to be on your confirmation page your first time? You think the first time you put your funnel together, you're going to get all of this technical stuff that you've never done before. You're going to get it right the first time, and you're not going to need any help, and you're not going to have any questions. You're going to need help.
You're not.
You're going to need help. You're going to have questions. So I made the price as low as I can. You know, I think for some of you guys, because you're new to taking your business seriously, you're soon going to find out, though, every software that you're using has a fee, right? Every tool that you use has a fee. My instructors that are in there, baby, they send me an invoice. I have to pay those people. They're not free. So even for like my companies, no, they still pay full price when they send their teams in and stuff like that. They're basically subsidizing it so I can make the price lower for like the true small business owner, right? And there'll still be people that'll complain about it, and and for them people, I just say I'm not for them. But there are people that have $40,000 programs, and they come into mine and they talk about how mine is superior to a $40,000 program. When you break down the numbers that you're paying less than $500 a month and you're getting access to all of that, it makes sense to pay it. However, if you don't have the mind of a business person yet of understanding it's about what is the return on my investment, then you're not going to see it that way. And I'm not going to sit here and try and convince you. That's you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, it's here. If you want it, come in. If you don't, that's there too. Good luck getting out there, buttercup, and finding what you need. And then unfortunately, and y'all have heard people come up here in these live streams and say, I should have listened to you. I made the wrong decision. You know, I did XYZ. I should have stuck with you first. You know, like, hey, everybody got their own path. Okay. I'm just for the people that want to win, I'm here for them. And like I said, I make things as accessible as possible, right? To our community. So at this point, it's like pretty much at cost, and either, you know, you want it or you don't. But, you know, either way, I'm gonna keep rolling. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing over here.
I didn't realize what a sacrifice it was to actually go on and pour yourself into people. And then, like you said, when you don't see when you don't see people really, really taking it serious, it's like I could be doing so many other things with my time. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's why I realized now I see, because at first I thought that it was a game, but it's really not, you know, and you know, what happened, I messed around. I want y'all to check out her content. She talked about big girls last night. Honey, look, I got off at 2:00 with you, baby. I was up to about 6:00. I was binge watching your content is awesome. You don't even pat yourself on the back. When you talked about the big girl syndrome and how people and the haters and all this stuff, I said, ooh, I mean, you just really are awesome all the way around. Dynamically as a person that a businesswoman, to the content creator, you know, to the funnel, you know, it's like you have mastered this thing. Like this, you are mastery. You are the epitome of mastery. If I had a golden piano to give you, I would definitely give you the golden piano.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much. I better have gotten good at it. I've been doing it for 15 years. Anyway, as I'm gonna drop you down, I got other people in the queue, doll.
Yeah, but you make it look so easy, and I think that's what really trips us out. And I just want to thank you so much for answering my questions, and thank you so much for letting me know how to do it, because I do have the 844 number, but it was so late last night, and I said I just want to peek to see what's really going on. So thank you so much, and you can drop me down.
You're welcome, and if you want to come into sales training, like I said, send a DM and say, hey, I'd like to be in sales training, so my team can get you a link, because you're not going to be able to access it from any of the main pages now. Hey, Bridget, what's going on, honey? Let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I can get your volume up a little bit louder.
Okay. Put it closer to me.
Say something else to me.
Hello.
Okay, that's better. You're a little louder now. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Look, you see I'm at work, but
that's right. Get that money, girl.
I just wanted to know, you mentioned Lord help me, I gotta have a note. text message responder for $24.99.
Mm-hmm.
Which one is that one? Which one do you
So
recommend?
right now, I'd like Textedly, and you know what? I think I need to add them to that sheet. I don't think they're on there now because they just opened up an affiliate program. So I mean, people really like it if we are referred and we're not getting anything of it. Now, Textedly is going to be the most economically priced. Okay, Textedly also has an option set up where you can even tie it into like your QuickBooks system if you're doing like ACH and invoicing and stuff like that. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, the learning curve on Textly is it's a little bit of a learning curve there, but you also getting what you're paying for. Now, if you go to Easy Texting, which they're pretty great too. Easy Texting is pretty much just click, boom, you got it, but it's gonna be a much higher price point, and it doesn't have the ability to tie in with the invoicing the way that Textedly does.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, invoicing, which I have an email site, so they make the purchases online. So that's all separate. And
Even when people make purchases online. So, like, for example, if you guys book a one-to-one call with me, it's going to show up online. It's going to send you an email confirmation. But if you put your phone number in there, my system will also text you and say, hey, don't forget you have a call in an hour, or don't forget you have a call tomorrow. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so I look at both of those. Yeah, but yeah,
And you got to remember, everybody doesn't open their emails and everybody doesn't see your posts. But about 80 to 85% of millennial, Gen Z, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Gen X too, also, like, they have their phones on them pretty much 24 hours and they check text messages.
right, I know, and that's why I definitely want to get into text messaging, because I've been following you for a long time. I've been having for a long time. Yeah, you the truth. And but I was not ready and I couldn't figure out ConvertKit. I couldn't figure out a lot of this stuff. Uh,
That's why you need to be in Instacoin. When you can't figure it out, well, I say share your screen with me, and then you turn on the screen and we go through, and whatever you confused about, we show you what to click, what to put, what to push. Then you take your piece of your recording, and now you got your own little personal tutorial for ever and ever and ever.
Lord, yes, that sounds wonderful, but I wasn't ready. I mean, my product line wasn't ready. My labels wasn't ready. My business just was not ready for all that you was teaching and training. I was not ready.
So can I correct you on something, Bridget? And I understand, like, mentally or emotionally, you may not be ready to take that step yet, and that's understandable. But the reason I'm correcting you on this is because, like, a lot of small business owners say this to me. Y'all are like, oh, I don't have these things ready yet, so I can't start. That's honestly one of the biggest mistakes you can ever make. While those things are in development, that's when you're supposed to be building up your audience. So that way, whenever you launch, like, okay, y'all know I have clients and I'll put up their receipt and they're like, oh, I work with Ashley, and we did our debut and we made $65,000 the first weekend. And everybody's like, oh my God. Well, part of the reason they were able to make the $65,000 that weekend is because while you're over here saying, well, I didn't have the labels ready, I didn't have my tester ready, I didn't have this, I didn't have that. Yeah, we use that as content and we build up the audience. We start building up the funnel, and we're getting people already into our communities and into our system before we're actually ready to launch. So now when it's time to launch, you already have an audience of people to launch to, instead of spending a bunch of money and a bunch of time on getting your products and stuff. And now you have to wait, right, more time to be able to get this product out to people, or you're going to have to come up with thousands of dollars every month to run ads, right? Or do peer-to-peer posting. So that's just for everybody in here. Y'all are like, oh, I need to have all this stuff before I get started. No, you build simultaneously, and so that way you have an audience of people that are already waiting for your offer, especially those of you that have physical products. Like, that's when people come to me with physical products, most of the time that's normally like the biggest misstep that y'all have made, is y'all don't feel like until it's perfect you can't start talking about it. You can't start building your audience, but you should be. You should be talking. You should be building your audience. You take your people on the journey on the back end. You start dropping pre-sales. You do all of that before. And that's how we have these crazy big lunches. And then clients are able to automatically come at the gate making 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, 100,000, 150,000 every single month. So just keep that in your mind. Like now, if you say I'm not emotionally, ready, or I don't feel like I have the capacity to take on these multiple things at one time, that's fine. But I just want to deliver y'all from that mindset of I have to have this thing perfect before I get started. No, you take your clients on the journey with you while you're perfecting that thing, and people get really excited and they're ready to buy.
Okay. So what would you recommend I take?
Instacoin Academy is going to be the most comprehensive as far as like full structure, marketing, sales, the consistent feedback, help with all the tech stuff. Instacoin is the most economical. Now, I do have some clients, they want to pay me to do one-to-one. I personally don't recommend that because I'm still going to charge you the same rate for one-to-one, but now we're taking time with you learning infrastructure and building your foundation instead of executing on campaigns. Does that make sense? So, and there's some people, they don't care. They still want the one-to-one. They don't want to be in the group with everybody, and that's fine. We'll do that. But if we're talking about economics, I would say come into Instacoin. That's the lower price point. And then that gives you more money. Like for instance, when we get into ads, because I'm prepping them already to get the advanced ads training for the spring, right? So now that's money you have. You can say, oh, I can put, this much per day towards my product. And oh my God, look, it worked. I made 22 sales today, right? As opposed to I spent a huge amount of money working with someone one-to-one, and now I'm struggling trying to find money for my marketing. I'm struggling trying to do my peer-to-peer posts. I'm struggling because I really, want to do a trunk show or something, or I want to buy new materials for my booth when I go out in public, but I've spent thousands of dollars on this one-to-one program. So that's typically why I would prefer my clients to go into Instacoin. The price is lower and it gives you more money to keep running your business, because during the insight sessions on Thursday, y'all can ask me anything and I'm gonna answer.
You really are. And like I said, I've been following you since Periscope, so we're talking about 6 or 7 years now.
Thank you.
And I have been working on my business, growing my business, putting products out there. Like I've steadily been working. You know what I'm saying? And I've been posting. I just nowhere near 3 posts a day, but I am on all.
Now, Bridget, you got to get the post up now. We got to put the post up, Bridget.
I watched a video on my way to the gym today, and I actually recorded a video. Well, I watched the video before when I was at work, and then I recorded a video on my way to the gym so I can, because I also have a diet book that I want to learn.
Oh,
And it really made me think about you when you were talking about your back surgery, because I had problems with my back. And so now the buzzword is anti-inflammatory diet, which I'm basically on an anti-inflammatory diet where I don't do any gluten or any dairy, and take out the high fructose corn syrup, and then I'm on sugar also. So those things to keep down inflammation, which keeps down the pain. So exactly. So
yes, girl. I do ginger and turmeric shots too.
oh yes, I definitely do juicing with ginger. Beet is great to juice, and all that other kind of stuff. But
I have to mask my beet with pomegranate. I hate beets. But I drink it because it's good for you. I pour the pomegranate juice in with the pan.
Like you don't even taste the beet. Like
no, I still taste it. It just make it tolerable.
okay, yeah. My daughter has high blood pressure, so it helps to lower the blood pressure.
Yeah, it lowers your blood pressure. Yeah, it has a bunch of benefits. We used to drink it all the time, and I would give it to my mom, but we had to stop because it was making her blood pressure too low. Her blood pressure was like dangerously low. Yeah.
So it does work.
Yeah, beet juice will definitely drop that blood pressure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Um,
And so will
yeah,
garlic.
yeah, we do a lot of garlic too, man.
Mhm.
I can't believe that I do garlic, man, because I used to hate garlic, but I do a lot of garlic. So yeah, very holistic way of eating to, yeah,
And so
to,
you could share that stuff, and people would be excited to like.
and
They'd be excited to get your cookbook.
yes, yes. So yes, that's what I plan on doing, working on that page. Look, see, doing content before I even got the book wrote. But I've already got the outline for it and so, you know, like I said, I'm just always so busy. I also take care of my mother who has Alzheimer's, so I'm
Hmm
just very, very busy.
So
Uh,
canned content and batch content will be your friends, and then you schedule, and so your posts are going up.
you said, and I know you got all the keys. I know you can blast this because I got my bottles, I got my labels, I got everything. Okay, almost the way I want it.
Yeah.
So
So now we need to start talking about it aggressively.
yes,
Hmm
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to get started. I am. So I will look again at your at your page. Your page is scary, but I'll look again.
Look into Instacoin. It's gonna be the most economical because it's gonna give you the most, and you'll
Okay,
have a lot of live support inside of there.
and that's what I need.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Most people need the support. I tell people all the time that's really the difference in between why we have so many people that are six-figure earners as opposed to people going through other programs. So this is the thing. Self-guided is a challenge when you don't know enough about what you're trying to guide yourself through.
Right.
So, like, for instance, I could pick up something probably self-guided on marketing because I'm a marketer and I've been marketing for almost 20 years, right? So there's some things in there I'm automatically gonna know. But if let's say, I can give you an example. Some of the certifications I have to keep for the ICF, right? I go through programs where I have instructors and teachers because I have to make sure, right? That's not my area of expertise. So I want to be able to run my concepts, ideas, programs, trainings, my understanding. I need to run it by an expert to make sure I know what's going on. But I wouldn't ever take a self-guided program in there because there's a lot of stuff I'm aware that I don't know. I don't even know to ask questions about certain things because that's not my area of expertise. And when it comes to business, y'all have to think about it like that, right? YouTube, TikTok, Google, and stuff. This is all a good start, to kind of give you maybe like an overview or a concept of what direction you should be going in. But when it's time for you to get the nuts and the bolts and the screws and the step-by-step instruction so you can build your first model. Now you need someone to quality inspect the model to see, what did we miss or what's not quite at the right angle, what needs an extra bolt, what needs an extra screw. That's where, the benefit of being inside of a program that gives you live assistance helps. And then there's some stuff that you put in that you're gonna put on your boat or your raft, and I'm like, hey, it's missing this, this, and this, and you're gonna be like, well, I didn't even know I needed that, and I'm like, yeah, you're gonna need that because of XYZ element of P. That's the best way. That's the best way to think about it.
Yep. And people need mentors and whatever you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? People are
Yeah.
experts for a reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a mentor like with my trading and all my stocks and stuff. Even though I make a lot of money but that's not my area of expertise. That's not what I do every day, day in, day out, day in, day out. So yeah, I sure did, and I listened to Tay and I listened to Wall Street like a lot, okay, and those guys have helped me make insane amounts of money. But I didn't have so much ego where I'm like, oh, I'm really good at this, so that means I'm good at everything. And that's a problem that a lot of people have. They think, well, I made a bunch of money doing this thing, therefore that translates into everything. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. You still
No,
you
I'm a business major. I'm an accountant, right?
right,
Give me numbers and I got you.
baby.
But
Writing it down.
right? But I'm not a marketing person,
Right.
right?
And it's
And
two
I
different
don't
things.
think all the technology as far as, like I said, I had so much trouble with setting up a funnel, uh, setting up emails, like all of that stuff. I'm not good at that. And I said I just pay somebody to do it. Now I done got to where I'm like, you know what, 6 years and you ain't learned it, just give up and pay somebody to do it.
Yeah.
Pay
And then
somebody.
this is the other thing though, when you don't understand what's going on and you pay somebody, well now you're at risk of getting scammed because they can give you a turd and you're not gonna know that it's a turd on the plate.
And that's true. And I've also watched other people in terms of marketing that's saying that, you can set up a person on a funnel that's a year long, or a 6 month funnel. And like I see with you, I'm still getting your emails, right? It's been 6 years. so,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I want to be able to learn that. I
Yeah.
give 100%. I want to be able to learn it, but no, I cannot learn it on my own because I have tried. And so that's why I was like, when I seen you again, I was like, let me check out Ashley. Right.
Come in there, girl. I got you. We'll help you with all of the tech stuff. The
Yeah.
funnel, foundation, your emails, your autoresponders, your campaign planning, your canned content, and more importantly, your ads. Ads are going to be for everybody in here that sells physical product. Ads and live selling are going to be your two best friends in 2026 and 2027.
Yep.
If you have a physical product, please understand that. Okay. Live selling and ads are going to be your friend. And more importantly, from the ads, you really need the data so you can properly retarget.
And so with TikTok making the changes that they made, do you think that I should put my product on TikTok?
Yes.
Okay.
I would
Yeah.
just do limited amounts. I wouldn't put it all there because now they're doing this thing where they want, sellers to send the product to the warehouse. And the one thing I don't care for on TikTok Shop is that it creates a barrier for you to be able to get your customers' information directly. But if you're having OAEs and you already are list building, it's not going to matter to you. You see what I'm saying? And when you're running people directly through your system, you're gonna have it. So, because TikTok only gets like 6% of the sale, they don't take a big percentage. TikTok makes their money off of ads.
A month.
Say that again.
Like they only pay once a month for
Yeah,
services. So, that's
yeah. That's
why.
why I would. That's why I say I just use it as like an avenue. That's why I told you I wouldn't put everything on there, but it's
Mhm.
still not bad to put, to have something on there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
You do that. Thank you, man.
You welcome.
Yes, I can't wait to work with you.
I'm excited. It's gonna be fun, girl. A lot of fun. If y'all got questions, you can drop them in the chat or you can pop in the queue. Is it Baye Naturals? Oh, Baye. Okay, so Baye, I can see you behind, but it says that you didn't give your mic permission. So you're gonna have to give your mic permission in order for me to be able to bring you up, so you can ask a question. Babe, yeah, you got to give the system permission to use your mic. I can see you backstage, but it says none of your devices are connected. And you don't have to cam up if you don't want to, but you do have to at least turn on the mic so we can hear you, babe. Let's see. Dr. Daphne, you're next in my queue. What's your question?
Oh, Dr. Ashley, you talking to the other lady or me?
I'm talking to you.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm answering last night when you told us to do the assessment, see where we are.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I have a couple of issues. One of the big things I'm not doing is implementing. And I also realize that I have a blockage with the tech stuff because somewhere in my head, I'm feeling that I'm not strong enough. So all the information I'm gathering, I am not implementing them. So I need to work on that. And the other thing I'm doing, I'm 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 starting different things and not necessarily completing them. And it's not just happening now, it has been happening for quite a while. Anything that does not requiring me just speaking out outright, I develop a blockage. And I'm speaking, I'm not making any money because I'm not doing keynote now like I used to.
Mm-hmm.
So everything I'm learning over these years from you and everything, and I'm just not implementing it. So I need to find out how to change that around so I can start make some money.
The first, you already did the first part, which is you've identified, that you have some type of blockage or that you're having a challenge. So that part is good. So now that we know that there's a block or that you're having a challenge, now we probably need to try and reverse engineer. So if the initial goal is to make money, then the next question was, what do we want to make money with? Do you want to get back on the circuit as far as being like a speaker, right? Or do you want to make money with maybe like your books, audio files, community, whatever it is that you have to offer? What do I want to make money with? Now that we know what we want to make money with, then we're going to go through the next question is who is the person that will find benefit in this offer? Who is the person that's looking for this type of information? And you're going to write down everything you can get to know about those people. Now that we have some type of avatar or profile around this person, so now here's our next step. How do I create touch points for this particular person, right? And if the touch point is through a text or it's through an email, it's through a live stream, it's through a private group, whatever it's going to be, you're going to know the answer because you're doing your research. Now that we've gotten here and we know the touch points, what touch point do I or do you, Dr. Daphne, have the capability of being consistent with, right? So can I send a text message every day or a telegram every day? Then yeah, I'll do that. Can I send an email, every day? I'll do that. Can I show up on camera once a week for these people? I'll do that. You're going to figure out though, based on my life and my lifestyle, what can I do every day? Now that we know what they want and what you can commit to and be consistent in, let's create an offer around that, right? This is what this includes. And from there, now we can build out the content pillars. And now I can start making a to-do list of what do I need to do every day. And I think it's important for people to actually have a physical list that they look at where they can go and check things off so that they actually can get things done.
Yes.
And it'll
Thank
stop
you
you
for
from being overwhelmed. And don't try and build a bunch of stuff all at once. Like literally just go piece by piece by piece by piece. So it may take you 3 weeks, 4 weeks to get through that process, that I just rolled out, or you may be able to get through it in 3 or 4 hours. Okay. Because everyone's different. But once we have that done, now I can start the process of what are my day-to-day tasks.
I thank you, Dr. Ashley. I will at a later time pick up the keynote aspect of what I used to do. Right now, I want to develop digital product because I have an urgent situation that I need to create the money. And
Well, let me ask you this, because you're saying you need to create a digital product and you got an urgent situation. If I'm being honest, those two things don't go hand in hand. And I'm going to tell you why. Unless you have an audience that you can pre-sell this product to, and that audience has to have a lot of trust in you that you're going to deliver that product in the time frame that you say, it's not going to create urgent income. A lot of people think that digital products are quick to create. If we're creating a quality product and it has real information and it's legitimately, helping a specific audience, I'm telling y'all this right now because I created products, and we currently, we create products for clients. It's a lot of effort and a lot of work that goes into these products that we're creating. Just because they're digital, it still takes work to go into the videos, the mails, the instructions, the journals, the ebooks, the recipes, the formatting, the images, the pictures, the graphics, the copy for your sales page. And I want you guys to understand this. I'm not trying to discourage you. I just want you to be in reality and realistically saying, well, I need money fast, so let me create a digital product that only works if you already have an audience of consumers. I need everybody to understand that. This is not just for you, Dr. Daphne. This is for everybody. If you have an audience of people who are consumers, I'm talking about these people are conditioned and excited to buy from you, and you already have some things that are already formatted or structured. Maybe you already have like courses or classes or something that you can bundle up. Maybe you already have the worksheets and the workbooks. And so you the type of person, you'll zone in, and for the next 48 hours, you'll work on getting all those worksheets formatted and pretty and looking nice so that they are cohesive and they flow with, maybe the course bundle you're putting out. Yes, now, yeah, you can make some quick money doing that because you already have some type of supply, you already have some type of idea, and 80% of the work or the base of this is already done. Your trick is now your work is formatting it and packaging it into a product. And on top of that, you still already need a audience of people. That's where quick money comes from with digital products. Okay. I need everybody to understand that. And if you're doing a quality digital product, if you don't have that, you may make money faster doing consultations, because a consultation is going off of the capital inside the capital, the experience, the knowledge that's in your brain, right? So we may make more money saying, well, I'm going to open up my calendar for consultations this week, right? Or maybe you have the ability to do done for you services for a client. Hey, I'm going to charge you guys $2,000 and I will put together these particular things that I know that you need, right? Now you'll have people that'll buy and you can get quick money. But I just want to dispel this myth that you just get quick money from having a digital product, because it's only quick money if you have the audience there.
Okay, so I said it incorrectly. I really wasn't matching the quick money. The way you heard me say it, that was not the way I intended it.
Okay.
Because one of the things I don't have is an offer.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that if I had an offer, every time I go live, maybe one person would pick up my offer. But I don't have the offer created. And that's what I need to do a session with you to help me to create an offer. So I have to look on the list and see which are those I can do to get the offer up. Because all the other things, to be honest, the only thing I am highly energized to do is to go live. I don't have any problem with that. I don't put that off. I'm eager to go live. So I have to turn around all the other issues that I have identified last night.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for pointing that out, because so long and I've never done that. And the other thing, my business is not structured properly. I know I have an LLC, but it's not really structured properly the way I hear you explain it to me. So I won't be able to do everything right now the way. So I just have to like get the offer set up and earn the money and then do one thing with you to get something else set up and do the other things.
On your offer, if you go through the questions that I just asked you though, and you're reverse engineering, that's what's going to get
Yeah.
you to the offer, right? And then from there, now you're going to make an outline of this is what should be included in my offer. And so that's where you can say, okay, either I'm going to pay somebody to create this product for me, or you'll take the time to create the product yourself, right? So, like one of the things inside of Instacoin we do is we do a lot of trainings on Canva, because Canva is a really great tool to be able to create your digital products with. And so taking people through, this is how we set this up, this is how we format this is how we create our templates, this is right, this is where we add in these things, so therefore it creates a product, this is how you build your product. Well, then that's something you can go out and you can make money with, right? And I'll be honest, your product, maybe have you ever thought about, have you ever thought about your product maybe being a workshop? Because that's a digital product, right? And you give people a Zoom code or a StreamYard code, and these are the things that we're going to cover in this workshop today. These are the things that you're going to learn.
I thank you for pointing that out. I never thought of the workshop as a digital product.
It's a digital product because guess what? Once it gets done, well, now you have a replay that you can repackage and sell.
Yeah. And I even have some old, let me not call them old, some former presentations that I've done over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going through my Google Docs the other day, and some of them have really good value in them. So I could probably start there too and see what I can create.
That I think that's probably the best place to start.
Yeah. Okay, let me see what else.
And I think you need, I personally would recommend you do, recommend you do that. So that way you have some type of assessment of what you have to offer.
Yes, yeah.
That makes sense, right? You said you're energized to live stream. That's great. A lot of people are terrified to live stream. So you already have an advantage over a lot of people because you actually want to live stream. That's something that you want to do. So now let's look at the topics you enjoy live streaming about. What do you have in your catalog, right? Or what do you have in your inventory that's going to be a good fit for, right? You see what I'm saying? That's going to be a good fit that
Yes.
correlates, that lines up with what you're streaming about. That's probably the place that you need to be in when it comes to creating a product. I just need all of y'all to understand that a digital product, just because it's digital, doesn't mean it gets to be trash, right? And I hate that people get online and they're like, oh, just make a digital product, just go and chat GPT and do this. Well, a lot of the information that's being given is inaccurate, right? And a lot of it, sometimes y'all are creating things that do not resonate with your audience, and you're creating things that you don't really, because it's not really your area of expertise, or you don't have experience in that area, you don't know when you're putting out misinformation. And so it's really important when we're creating digital products too, we create digital products around things that we actually know, right? Because if you're doing that, well, now it's really easy to make a high ticket, a mid ticket, and a low ticket. It's really easy to get the conversions, and it's really easy to get the sales because you're offering something that you're qualified to offer.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? So go,
Yes.
so think through those steps and work your way backwards through that process. It's good. That's what we call reverse engineering. And from there, that's probably going to give you the better direction of what your product needs to be, and something that you're going to be successful with having sales in.
Yes. And years ago, from our Periscope time, I had done a one-on-one consultation with you when I used to do my old time podcast on Blog Talk Radio,
Mhm.
and you had recommended that I offer a course around that. And I drag my feet, still haven't done it. And I need to step up and do that.
Right. And
And
look how big podcasting is now.
yes,
You would
and
have made buku money because everybody
yes,
wants to have a podcast now. You were doing it before everybody else had it, before it was popular.
that's right. And you told me from then on. I still want to thank you because I haven't done it, but I know that's why I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying right here.
I can see because I can see the wave coming. I'm good at reading the wind, y'all. Like, and that's what I'm telling y'all. Like, live selling and ads are gonna be huge for 2026 and 2027. For those of you that like that is the wave. That's where things are moving to now. That's the next wave.
One thing you told me late last year is to use my age.
Yes, your age is an advantage. You should be leveraging your age. Yeah. Age typically comes experience, and most people, they look at an older woman as having wisdom to offer and to keep them from making some of the same mistakes. So when you're dealing with women that are going to be middle-aged women, or maybe even some women inside of their 20s, they absolutely are going to say, okay, well, Dr. Daphne is giving me advice about XYZ elemental P. And, let me go over there and figure out what I need to do or what moves I need to make so that I'm not getting caught up in mistakes. So, and a lot of people, sometimes when they're older and they're getting into the digital space, they feel like, oh, I'm too old, or they're looking at their age as a disadvantage. And it's not. Your age is an advantage, because there are people out here looking for guidance all the time. And typically when people see someone that's older, they trust older people a lot faster than they trust younger people too.
So that's what I found out. And right here now, because I know where my challenge and blockages are, I'm not going to stick around to fix it. I'm going to do what I'm good at doing, work the things you tell me to work, and earn the money to hire your done for you aspect to help me to look pretty out there when I put this stuff.
Well, you're earning the money. You may not need it done for you. You may, because you're gonna be doing it for yourself, Dr. Daphne.
All right, I have to go work on that blockage.
Yeah, you just gotta sit down and take the time to go through the steps. That's your biggest thing. And then once you say, okay, this is what I can bring to the market, now we're good to go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I want all of y'all to understand that, like, you're the sauce, right? Like, my job is to give you tools and show you how to implement things and put them together. But ultimately, you're the sauce, okay? You got to show up for yourself. You got to do, like, you have to put in the work. You have to be willing to learn maybe the new terminology or the new skills, or, start maybe using a software or something. And I get that it could be intimidating. I understand that wholeheartedly. But if you lock in, you're going to be like, oh, why was I stressing? Why was I stressing? Okay. Bay Yay Naturals, Honey Pie. I can see you backstage, but it still says your mic and your camera are disconnected. It says your devices aren't connected. So I saw you hop back in backstage, but you have to give it permission to connect. That's the only way I can bring you up. I can't bring you up to ask me a question unless you at least connect your microphone. Let's see. Let's see. Is it okay to use templates to help create content? Yes, as long as it's a template or a format of content that your audience is going to enjoy consuming. Everything, your audience is who determines what it is they like or that they don't like. Okay. I remember this was years ago. I used to waste so much time trying to make like picture perfect editorial, like super amazing content. And then I would put up these talking heads, and it would be a white border with big black lettering across it. The talking heads would always outperform the editorial content. Like, I'm talking about 20 times outperform them. I could put up a talking head. The talking head would get like 800,000 views. You know what I'm saying? Like 125,000 likes, 200,000 shares or something. And then here's the perfect editorial, like day in the life, get ready with me, such and such. This content that's up there that has all this time and all this effort into it. And literally, I was lucky if it saw 50,000 views. I was lucky if it was seeing 50,000 views. So what did I learn from that? My audience likes titles because y'all want to know what is the topic, right? From the get to determine if you want to watch it or not. So I started adding, that's where I started putting my written hooks in, because that's right. Because that's how I learned that y'all saw value in that. So a lot of times when it gets down to a template or a model for your content, it's going to have everything to do with what does your audience respond to. So just like people will get into CapCut, and y'all know CapCut has a gang of templates inside of there. And you're like, I'm using the templates, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm not getting, I'm not getting the results I'm looking for, because the reality is you may have chosen something that your audience doesn't respond to. And the only way to find out what your audience responds to is you study and you test. That's it. Hey, your favorite creative, what you got for me, honey pie?
Hey, so I am a nail tech, but I don't take clients anymore.
Shout out to nails. Yay!
And I do post nail content, but I really have been trying to focus on helping other nail techs and creatives with the business side of everything.
Okay.
And I feel like there's a disconnect in my audience. I did have a video go viral about something business related, but most of the stuff that gets attention on my page is like nail stuff and design stuff. And I don't want to stop posting that kind of content altogether. And I'm just trying to figure out how I can leverage this audience, or if I should just like let it go and let this just be a nail page and start from scratch.
You don't have to start from scratch. You probably can cross promote and then start a redirect. A redirect is not quite as aggressive as a rebrand, but it's the process of transitioning your audience over into your new content, and also building up the audience that's going to want to consume that additional content. So if you probably have professionals that enjoy your design videos because they're probably learning, right?
Right.
So if they like that, why don't maybe we start with packaging some design tutorials?
I guess because I'm just like, okay, you can go learn how to do any type of design.
But they want to learn. But they want to learn from you.
Right. Okay, I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you sell by listening. Okay, we listen. They're telling you what they want from you, and you're not listening to them. And
right.
I'm not saying that it has to be limited to that, but if we're going to package that, you see what I'm saying, with a few other things, well, now you're able to get to your goal. Work with them instead of working against them.
Right. And I think maybe I'm intellectualizing this too much, because I'm thinking like, okay, I'm trying to attract a whole new audience, because I feel like my current audience is like, oh, big shiny object. I don't want to learn how to do email marketing, or I don't want to learn how to set up my booking site. I just want to look at nail designs or whatever. So
you don't have to. Okay, so when you're building a new audience, that's going to take some time. That could take a couple weeks. It could take a couple months. That depends on how aggressive you're going to be with the content that you're producing and the types of content you're producing and the areas that you're socializing in and who you're engaging with online. Okay, all of that really is going to fall back onto you. Am I picking up 10,000 people in 4 weeks so I have enough of a new audience that I can start immediately pushing these offers to, or is it going to take you 6 months to build up 10,000, 20,000 of these new people? You see what I'm saying? And that starts getting into strategy. I would definitely tell you probably to do, you probably need a social media audit And then if we're getting into like product offering, how you're gonna scale, funnel, that would be power session
Okay.
on that side. The audit, because I would have to, look at your content, analyze the audience, see what people are responding to, compared to like your overall goal and what you want to offer to say, okay, this is what we need to adjust on the social side to get you to this goal of this particular new audience of consumers. And then the power session would be more on the actual offers and how to package everything together so that we can start the process of consumption, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Now, because I get what you're saying. When we're looking at someone that is a nail tech, or maybe they make press-on nails, or they sell nail supplies or something like that. Like, yes, you do have to work on building up your clientele and your client base. It takes more than just good designs, especially the nail techs back then did not have to compete against the girls getting on Shein and TikTok and ordering press-on nails.
Exactly.
they didn't have to compete. They didn't have to compete against that back then. They had to do that, right? If you wanted some fly nails, you had to go to your nail tech unless you knew how to do your own nails. Back in the day, they were not selling Gel X kits and poly gels to the girls at home. Back in the day, I couldn't just get on the internet and order me a bedazzled e-file. You know what I'm saying? So that definitely, yeah, that definitely changes. That changes all of that. So realistically, I understand how what you want to put out in the market is very valuable. So now we just got to make sure that we're targeting the proper amount of people. And if we know that people are like, I'm here for the designs, well, why don't we use that as a gateway?
I guess, I don't know. I'm not seeing where I can connect them to like the back end stuff when they're coming for the front end stuff. It's like they want the aesthetic.
You always wrap what people need inside of what they want. So if they want the front end, then once they get the front end, we get in there and we also have information about the back end. Okay. And then you use your front end and you do back end education with front end visuals.
Okay, that makes sense.
You see what I'm saying? Like that's what I said. If you pay attention to what your audience wants, you always can sell and sell quickly. So they're telling you, this is what I want, right? They don't know what they need. They don't have enough sense to know that they need that. And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way. It's because they don't have the experience. You see what I'm saying? You don't know what you don't know. They don't have enough sense right now to know, like, hey, this back end stuff is really important. And if I want the ability to make money doing what I enjoy, which is going to be the design portion of this, the creative portion of this, I have to understand the back end. They don't know that yet. They don't have the sense. I think a lot of them
are very scared of the tech part. And I try to like go live and make it digestible and post little quick tutorials. And it seems like it resonates, but it's like I've had people buy things and like literally never log in to actually do anything, and they spent their money, and that's cool, but like,
yeah, that's because of the targeting and the implementation. So what I would recommend for you, like I said, quick front end audit and a power session. If you want to do work together more consistently, then I would tell you to come into something probably like a quick snippet would be like the social media sales camp. And we get started with that tonight at 6. But like realistically, I don't know what you want to scale this to, like on this side, and how aggressive you want to be with it. But KE cohort could be something that's an option for you, because you already know the technical and the foundational stuff. So at this point, we're really just working on packaging products, getting you out on the proper circuit so that you got more exposure to more people to bring them to you. And then also like how we're actually funneling and uplayering the products and what needs to be happening inside of the design house once people get in, as far as the product that they're going to consume from you.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. I do probably need to do Kingdom Essentials.
So
I think so.
That's probably more than that. Send me a DM and we can see kind of like what your goals are, and then what makes the most sense for you as far as like time commitment and your financial investment. Because if you be honest with me, I'll be honest with you. I'm a very transparent person. And for instance, like I was talking to another young lady a couple of weeks ago, and she wanted to work with me in KE cohort, but looking with where her business was and what she had going on, I was like, I don't think you need to do this yet. And instead, I was like, we're going to do this. And she was a little disappointed, but I already knew. I'm like, I knew from what she was telling me, she probably was going to be about 5 or 6 months away from being able to make a really good amount of profit. And I felt like she was going to get stressed out trying to make that monthly installment without having that other side of the profit coming in. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm one of those type of people. If you tell me what you got going on, I'll be like, this is what you really, this may be here, but this is what we need to do first to get you over here so we can get there. So, and that's for any of y'all, whenever y'all DM me, ask me about stuff, tell the truth. Don't be weird when I send you the price list and then just disappear. I can't help you, but if you say, this is what I got going on, I say, this is what you need to do first. And then from there, we can do this and we can do this. And we put together a plan. You work in stages.
Awesome. I will definitely DM you.
Yes, no problem. But you say about listening and people telling you what they want. So we take what they want and we wrap what they need inside of it.
Got it.
It's the same thing with me, girl. Everybody come to me because they want to make $100,000 in a year or $100,000 in a month with selling their stuff. And I know that they have no infrastructure. I know that they have no specific brand identity. I know that they need help with like the content frequency. Sometimes it's not even the consistency, because sometimes they're very consistent in the content they're putting out, but the frequency isn't there, right? And I know that they may be missing like a CVO. They may not have any return paths. I know they're not properly segmenting their audience on the back end. And I'm like, okay, these are the things that you need to get you to that $100,000 a month. So we got to put that there, but they don't know that that's what they need to get there. So yeah. Let's see. I make crochet items, and right now I have a list of custom, so I haven't been able to make many ready to ship items. I'm struggling with consistent content to put up since my current stuff takes longer to make. I'm not sure how to best make in between content to stay consistent. These Shishas, is that how I pronounce that? Have helped out, but I still struggle with it, how to best implement it and maintain my brand's vibe. Can you tell me what a Shishas is? I'm sorry. I don't I'm ignorant to that. I don't know what that means. Oh, it was a typo of sessions. Okay. Girl, you said you crochet. I thought you was crocheting some kind of shishas. I didn't know. I was like, help me out. So honestly, you create content around what you're doing every day. If you have a backlog or older inventory, we definitely want to put that out there. And it sounds honestly like you have maybe like a time management thing. If we know we can do the ready to ship stuff faster, then it sounds like you probably need to be dividing your week or dividing your days into, this is when I work on the custom orders and this is when I'm doing the ready to ship. So that way you still have something that you can produce and put out there. Now, your system on the back end is what's going to sell for you automatically. So that way at the top of the week, like your email blasts are set up, your resends are set up, your text messages are set up, your content that's being put on your page is being set up. And then when you go live, like, yeah, here, you can pop in for a custom order. Here's the wait time. Or if you want something ready to ship, check out this catalog. But it really sounds like a time management. What's CVO? CVO is customer valuation optimization. Your return path is the system or your operating procedures that brings clients back so that they're having multiple transactions with you. Businesses only grow 3 ways: new customers, new clients, increased transaction amounts, and return and repeat customers. And you got to be doing a combination of all 3. All 3 got to be happening at one time. All 3. All right, y'all. I got to skedaddle because y'all know it's Tuesday. So I got classes, I got courses, I got sessions carrying on. If any of you guys are trying to get into the sales camp, it actually starts tonight at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So you better do that expeditiously with a quickness. You will have to DM me on, actually, it's better if you email my customer support. If you DM me, I can send you the customer support email and they'll get you hooked up. They'll get you the link so you can come in and register. Any of you guys that are trying to get into Instacoin Academy, when you click the link in my bio, you'll see the Instacoin stuff. Any of y'all that want to work with me one-to-one, there's a button when you click my bio, there's a button in there that says work one-to-one, and you'll see where you can book a social media audit, power session, whatever it is that you need. Okay. That way you guys can get that done. Okay. That's how that works. And yeah, okay, that is that out here in these streets. I hope you guys enjoyed the Q&A today. Y'all had really good questions. I enjoy questions from people that are actually working on businesses and projects. It makes me so delighted to know that there are so many of you guys that are taking yourself seriously. So give it up to yourself, okay, for having great questions. I always know people are working on stuff because y'all have very specific questions. That makes me happy. Let's see. Tomorrow is Wealth Wednesday, so we're going to continue on our conversation. I started training y'all last night on activation content. So we're going to continue on in training and activation content, and maybe we'll try and do another Q&A on Thursday. Okay. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you guys are on the planet Earth. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. If it's morning time or daytime where you are, have a productive and a prosperous day. If it's evening time, get yourself a good night's rest. And thank you for everybody that tapped the screen. Thank you for everybody that shared the live.